Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. This time we're going to be reviewing the finalists of Albania's Festivali Këngës. My name is Ervin, and joining me today for this video are Nicola, Sean, and Isaac. Let's start with Stevie Ushe and his song As Kursitu.
Yeah, so I thought this was a very classic Festivali Këngës performance. It's a good song. Didn't really do anything original or unique, but he had a good voice. And I think that the orchestration worked quite well with how it built across. But overall, it was mid-table for me.
I just have to add that I loved his jackets, and I think I kind of felt it like he had an encounter with Jack Frost before coming onto the stage. But I agree that like his song was quite all right, and he sung it really, really well. We kept this one short, but let's score it out of 10. Isaac,
I gave it 5.
I'll go with 7. Nicola,
5.
Sean,
3.
next up we have Besa Kokedhima with Zemren. I was very excited to see that Besa was back because she was one of my favorite in the 2010 edition of Festivali Këngës for the 2011 Eurovision with E Bukur dhe Bisha. And I was expecting that she was going to come back with a song that's going to be as strong as that one, if not even stronger. She did come back with another power ballad. And even though she brought the vocals that we all expected, because she sung the song perfectly, I just felt that it just sounded a little bit incomplete, unfortunately. And the thing that really confused me in the song was when she added these random, like, kind of like rap parts, because I didn't quite understand what that was all about. But yeah, I don't know. I think I enjoyed her voice a lot more than the actual song. And I was a little bit left like wanting more from her than what I actually got. And I'm going to kick this off with 5 points. Nicola,
6.
Sean,
7.
Isaac.
I think this is one of the best complete packages in the whole festival. I gave it an 8.
Next up, we have Mai Retkoceri with the song Çmendur.
I mean, I'm not even sure what I've just watched, like from that song and the performance itself. I would like to applaud him for the fact that he was brave enough to appear in that outfit and to find himself in front of Albanian audience with all of that he is. But definitely, like vocal-wise and song-wise, it's a song which you need to listen and maybe even listen more of the times in order to grasp what it's all about. And I'm not sure like what I just listened.
Put that into points, Nicola.
That into points, 3.
Sean,
I'm gonna give him a 4 because he really, really went to the gym, right?
Isaac.
To me, it sounded like if Måneskin replaced their lead singer with Theodore Andre. It's a 6 for me. Not too bad.
Yes.
That's a 2 for me. The next act we're going to discuss is Eldis Arrnjeti with kujtim.
I actually, when you said the name, I didn't remember him from the first semifinal. But when I looked him up, I actually do remember this performance. I love this song. I really like the sincerity that he performs with. I like that he just comes on stage, performs his song. No, he doesn't try to do vocal gymnastics, which is something that we tend to see a lot in fic. There's a good sincerity here and just a good song. I gave him a 6.
Isaac,
Yeah, this is strong. I gave it a 7.
I'll go one up, 8. Nicola,
7 from me.
Wow.
We continue with Shpat Deda and Smunt Fitoj Patu.
So this is like a typical song which you can hear at any contest, especially the festivals such as FIC, like so gentle, lovely guitar, lovely executed, but it just gave me nothing. So I kind of missed the elements of surprise. I missed a bit of emotions. I would wish that it has more because it could have been giving a lot more than it actually gave us. But anyhow, I love the guitar and I love the music in it.
Out of 10?
5.
Sean?
3.
Isaac?
Or
I'm with Sean on this one. It's a 3 for me as well. Next up, we have Yehona Ponari with the song Evil.
uh this was one of the worst ones out of the lot for me. It was just kind of a mess. I don't know. I don't really know what we were meant to feel or think. It was just bad in every way, to be honest, in my opinion. I didn't enjoy the song. I thought it, especially the performance, was just lacking in every way. There were like, this is a potential Eurovision song, and nothing was going on that's exciting me in any way at all.
I don't think that's going to go high, but turn it into points.
It's just about a 2.
Well, I'll be a little bit more generous. I'm going to give it a 3. Nicola?
3.
Sean?
I feel bad for her, so I'm gonna say 2. Because she looked nervous. She looked like something was going wrong. Maybe, I don't know, technical stuff. 2.
We continue with Peter Pan Quartet and Errin Herre.
I kind of liked this one. It stood out because it was a quartet, um, a little bit uh, hinting on folk, but it was too, like, they could have done much more. They could have stood out much more. It was 4 of them, and it could have been more traditional, more folk, more the things I like. So I feel treated, but I feel robbed at the same time. Does that make sense? It's a 4.
Isaac?
Yeah, I don't like the verses, but I like the chorus. I give it a 5.
I don't know. I just felt like there's a reason why this was a replacement entry, why it didn't qualify directly. For me, this is a 2. Nicola?
4.
We continue with Festina Mejzini and her song Melos. This is another veteran returning to Festivali Këngës, as I remember her taking part in the past. However, after semifinal one, I didn't really remember her song. I just remember it being very dramatic. And I remember thinking that the drums and the violins in the orchestra, that they really know how to build up the drama. And Festina sung it nicely, but I honestly can't recall the melody and I can't recall the song itself. I just remember it being nicely sung and I just remember it was dramatic. And because of that, I'm not even sure how to score it, so I'm just going to go straight down the middle and give it a 5. Nicola?
7.
Sean?
6.
Isaac?
3.
We continue with Kastro Zizo, and I'm not going to try to pronounce this in Albanian, so I'm just going to say 2073.
So I remember Castro from, I think it was last year. That was, it might have been the year before. That was kind of crazy and loud and in your face. And this entry was just also loud and in your face, but also really quiet at the same time. It was a really weird beginning, and then there were operatic elements in the background. And as it went on, he just got louder and louder. And I can't tell if I enjoyed it because it was funny or because I actually liked the song. But I think if I'm purely judging it as a song, it wasn't great. But as a performance, it was kind of crazy and I liked it.
I would just score it out of 10.
It was a really hard one to score, but I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 6, even though I expected more from him. Nicola,
6.
Sean,
One for the hair bleach, one for the mustache. Two.
next up we have Luan Durmishi with Perseritja. From the moment when this song started, I wasn't sure how I feel about it because, like, at the same time, this was very weird, but I was kind of into it. And what I found interesting was that the Albanian broadcaster was finally doing some camera work properly and fit for a performance, and not shoot the performance from either the back or the side when it doesn't really make much sense to do that. And it turned out to be like one of the weirdest songs and like one of the weirdest performances of the night, but like I was totally there for it. And I do agree with the thing that like he repeats approximately like 78 times in the song, that like repetition makes it memorable and like makes it stick, because it definitely did make it stick. And I have had this song actually, and I rewatched the performance like multiple times since the first semi-final. So I really do enjoy it. Judge me or don't, however you want. I'm giving this a 9. Nicola,
7.
Sean,
9.
Isaac.
I think of all the songs, this one stands out the most. I'm giving it a 7.
We continue with Melodajn Mancaku and her song Nuk Jemi Ne.
I like this one. Um, she's so beautifully styled. The dress, the hair. I don't know. I'm not usually one to talk about styling, but this really stood out for me. Um, the song was perhaps one of the most contemporary ones, and in a in a show like Festivali Këngës, it stands out. Whereas if we were watching Melody Festival, you'd probably not stand out if you're contemporary. So in a weird way, and I'm always here for the traditional stuff, but I liked sorry, but I liked this one. She was really good, and I think I gave her a 6.
Isaac,
3.
Oh,
I'll go with a 6 as well. Nicola,
5.
we continue with Olsi Ballta and Une.
This was definitely something different, and on one side I had a feeling like I'm watching Kratos, but like AliExpress version of it. So what you order is not what you get, but because definitely like the makeup and the fake dirt or whatever there was crazy, but the song itself was fun and something which I would listen to regularly. So it kind of gives me mixed feelings because I just wish that the performance-wise and outfit-wise was a bit on a higher level. But anyhow, it was something which I will be enjoying and listening maybe even after the show.
I just got to add that whilst I thought that Stevie Ushe had an encounter with Jack Frost, I think that Olsi Ballta had an encounter with a tiger before coming on stage. Anyways, let's score this out of 10. Nicola,
7.
Sean,
4.
Isaac.
4.
I'll give this a 9. We continue with Andi Tanko and Here Pas Here.
Yeah, for me, this really just felt like it was a filler song. It was again nothing spectacular. It wasn't terrible, but it was just kind of there. The melody was okay. His vocals were quite good, but there was nothing unique about it. And for me, after having heard so many songs, it just kind of blended into that bottom few for me.
I just felt like comparing this to Olsi's song, this felt like a little bit more brought down rock, and probably to make it like more competitive, but it also made it sound a little less catchy than it could actually be.
Yeah, I actually thought the exact same thing. It was like just a worse version of Olsi.
Out of 10, Isaac.
3.
I'll be a lot more generous. I'll give it a 6. Nicola,
5.
Sean.
3.
Next up, we have Sergio Hajdini with Uragan.
I mean, i- sometimes, in a Eurovision perspective, we see Festivali Kungis as a little bit conservative with some of the choices. And then you see an outfit like this, and he looks like one of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ. And I'm like, how is this going to endear you? Like, at least the gym guy, who was like, I think the third one on, at least that was a little bit of a statement. Like, look at me, I went to the gym and I'm gonna show you. This one is like, what are we seeing here? Like, I just walked out of the Bible, which I respect. I'm Catholic myself. I if he takes inspiration from it, good for him. But I was so distracted by the outfit, and you can see my commentary.
I hate to disappoint you, Sean, but like I had a very different view of this, and I was actually very pleasantly surprised with Uragan. I thought the song has a really good flow. It started very soft and gentle, but it was building up nicely, and Sergio's voice really complemented well both the song and the melody. And the only thing I didn't understand this entire thing was the what you saw as an apostle. I kind of saw like a wannabe hipster look. I didn't really get it, but let that be its worst problem. I quite like this one, and I'm gonna give it an 8. Nicola,
6.
Sean,
2.
Isaac.
6.
We continue with Santino De Bartolo and his song Dua Teri Metu.
So this is yet another song with a traditional aspects for fic. So guitar, lovely music, and hopefully something which could take me somewhere, but it just didn't take me anywhere. Unfortunately, I was not a fan of the song and the performance. Anyhow, I do have to compliment that the music was nice, but not something which I would like to play back again.
Out of 10,
Out of 10, that would be a 3.
Sean,
2.
Isaac.
3.
I just have to add actually that this song reminded me a little bit, not like that, like it sounds like it, but let's say the quality in the performance reminded me of a song from the Croatian final years ago, which was performed by Ibrica Jusic, and the song was called Iskoči sa mnom iz Jurečeg vlaka. It got approximately like 60 or so televotes in the semi-final and finished last. And I thought it like this is equally as good, and I'm gonna give this a 2. Sorry. Next up, we have Olympia Smiley and her song Asai.
This was one of the best vocals of the first night. I did enjoy the song. Um, Still a little bit. It's like I want something more, but it looked like it was a very professional performance. It's not her first time in FIC, is it?
No.
Yeah, the professionality of it, the veteranism stood out. But it's a five.
Isaac,
Yeah, I gave it a 5.
I'll go with 7. Nicola,
6.
we continue with Big Basta and Vesaloma and their song Binaturale.
This was a cute song and something which kind of could have opened the second night very well, but somehow lost me at the middle of it. Because as much as I would like for it to be a song which is lovely and to cover some of the feelings which are nice, it, I mean, didn't give me much what I expected from it, and I was lost in a bit. But anyhow, it was nice to listen to it, but it's going on the list of the songs which I will not replay again.
Scored it out of 10.
That would be a 5.
Sean,
Four.
Isaac,
5.
I'll also go with a 4. Last year's winner of Festivali Congress is next. It's Elsa Lila and her song Mars.
We had no expectations of Elsa Lila last year because many of us didn't know who she was. This year she came in as the huge favorite. So we need to give Mars its time to really kind of sit on our ears, the melody. Um, I still am a little bit disappointed, but I still think she's one of the front runners of this competition and will probably, I think, come in the top three of the jury. Well, the whole thing actually. We might not see her in Eurovision, which we'll
Again,
see. But yeah, I gave this one a 7.
Isaac,
Yeah, I think this is the best song in the whole competition. I almost gave it a 9, but I'm going 8.
I also had a little bit higher expectations because I do enjoy Evita a little bit more than I enjoy Mars, so I'm gonna go with 8. Nicola,
6.
we continue with Jasmina Hako and her song T.
Yeah, so when this started, it stands out because it's a bit more current. It's got sort of poppy, jazzy, funky feel, and I was quite enjoying it at first. The chorus is pretty good, but about halfway through the song, I start to lose interest because I realized it was just gonna be predictable and do the same thing again, and it did. So even though it was a relatively decent performance, by the end of it, it had just kind of fallen into the middle of the rankings for me.
You give it?
5.
This was just not memorable at all for me, but it was perfectly well sung, so 4. Nicola,
4.
Sean,
4.
we continue with Michela Paluca and her song Per veten. I found myself tapping my foot to this one as soon as it started, and I think that's like a very good sign. She put a lot of power into the song, and I mean, excuse my expression, but she sang the pants off of it. This song kept my attention from the very first second all the way until the end, and I'm sure that this is going to be one of those songs that I'm gonna listen to after Festival Congress as well, regardless whether it wins or it doesn't. I don't think it will for some reason, but you never know, and especially you never know with Vic. I'm gonna kick this off with a 9. Nicola,
6.
Sean,
I love it. There was a lot of staging in it, but I'm gonna give it a 5.
Isaac.
5.
We continue with Anduel Kovaci and his song None.
Yeah, I think this was good. I think it got one of the biggest reactions of the of all the songs, to be honest. He's a great performer, really sells it. I wish the song did a bit more towards the end because it does build and it does build nicely. Wish it went a little bit further. But the strings, the orchestration is very nice. And like I say, I think he's one of the best performers out of all of them.
Put that into points.
I almost went 7, but I went 6.
I went 8. Nicola?
7.
Sean?
7.
We continue with Cleansa Susai and her song Picture.
When she came on, I thought it was Angun from France. I don't know, she gave me that vibe. I really like her voice. It reminded me of Inis Naziri and the girl that sang the song Hyena in Fic in the year Ronella won. I forgot her name. I said it in the blog, but I forgot it. Anyway, Esther something. The song, it's typical, the girl next door starting her career singing. It's nothing special, but I think her voice makes her stand out a little bit. Um, I gave this one a 5.
Isaac?
7.
4. Nicola?
4.
Next up, we have Eden Baya with the song Ayer. Now, I really don't want to be disrespectful and I don't want to be rude, but she showed as much excitement and enthusiasm in her performance as Alena did in Poland in the last edition of the Polish national final with her song Booty. She came across to me as if she literally had nothing better to do tonight, so she showed up in Fic to sing that song. She did sing it well. She wasn't off key or anything like that. So that was absolutely fine. But just like her being so uninterested and having so many camera close-ups at the same time kind of killed even like the tiniest interest that I might have had in the song. And I kind of felt that like she looked even more bored singing than I was bored watching it. So I'm sorry, but for me, this is a 2. Nicola?
Also a 2.
Sean?
Oh,
Isaac?
2.
We continue with Erina and the Elementals with the song Veten the Sky.
Even though in the beginning there were some technical problems, I really like the fact that they managed to go through all of that and they like shifted to the song quickly. Erina has amazing voice and her vocals are fantastic and I really enjoy them. And I also like the melody of the song and it was really nicely done and nicely put. And the performance-wise, I really like that they had fun. So even though the problems happened, they really had a lot of fun on the stage and the energy which the song brought was definitely something which I really enjoyed and it is going to be a song which I will be happily listening to even after Fic finishes and even if they don't win, I will enjoy it a lot.
Out of 10.
9.
Sean?
5. But yes.
Isaac?
3.
The only thing I loved here was her vocals, and she can be a really good rock star, but give her better songs. For me, this is a 5. We continue with Irma Lepuri and her song Meprit.
I feel like this one was a bit interesting because I feel like she was interested. Like she was trying to sell it to us. But unfortunately, she didn't have much to sell. The girl is talented and she looked committed to her craft. But the song is so, it was like, what am I trying to say? Like, here's an empty plate, you know? And I feel bad for these girls because they're probably very, enthusiastic about this prospect, this opportunity, and they have great voices. But I'm sorry, the song, it's a three.
Isaac?
7.
Oh,
See, I also loved how soft and gentle this was, but I didn't feel like it was going anywhere. So for me, it's a 4. Nicola?
5.
We continue with Arsi Bako and the song Zgyohu.
Yeah, I think this one really stands out. It was staged really well. It actually reminded me a little bit of Ranella. I was never a big fan of Ranella's song. I actually preferred this one. It was interesting because in the sort of the background of the music, there were sort of synthy noises, there was bass, there was keyboard, there was a lot going on, and the performance on stage was really good. I thought the chorus worked well. Um, but like with a few others, as it went on, I started to lose interest because even though in the first 40 or 50 seconds I was quite impressed, it just kind of looped and didn't do anything more interesting as it went on. But I still enjoyed it.
Out of 10?
6.
For me, just needed a little bit more oomph, but it's quite good. I'm gonna give it an 8. Nicola?
8.
Sean?
Isaac, you said it all. It's a 6.
We continue with Tiri Gjoci and the song Nender.
This was a lovely song, and the song which kind of gives a lot to the listener, but to me, for some reason, it just didn't give all the things I wanted, and it goes literally. The song went so fast that I'm not even sure what I listened to. But as much as I would like to love it, I just don't have any particular opinion on it because it was just like a lovely song itself and just passing by next to a passenger as I am like going somewhere and like just going next to me in a different direction. So we're not in the same world, the song and me.
Wow. Out of 10?
5.
Sean?
5. This is one of the really traditional ones that I really liked, actually. I felt like I was in Eurovision 2004, but I liked it, but it's still a 5.
Isaac?
5.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. For me, this is 9. Up next, we have Besa Kokedhima with the song Essenziale.
Yeah, so this one again, like with some of the others, at the start, I thought it had potential. It definitely stood out visually. There were sort of multicolored lights. There were the backing dancers. She brought a lot of energy, and I was hoping it was going to go somewhere, and it just didn't. And even though I felt like I should have been enjoying it, I wasn't really. It felt like style over substance for me because it looked like there was a lot going on, and it sounded like I should have been enjoying it, but ultimately the song itself was kind of boring. But I respect it for being at least interesting visually, where so many others are just someone standing there.
Out of 10?
5.
I actually completely agree with everything you said, and I'm also giving it a 5. Nicola?
5.
Sean?
I agree with everything you just said, which is why I'm giving it a 2.
Bledikasu is up next with Chdo Je Baroi.
I like this. I know. Um, it reminds me of, you know, Malta's song in 1995, Mike Spiteri. That's what it reminded me of. And we need these figures in national selections, even though they're not going to win. We need, someone to take us back, some nostalgia, some, even though I'm making myself sound 50 here, although I'm only 23, but I enjoy this kind of harking back. The song was melodic. I liked it. Um, yeah, it was a pleasant addition for me. I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but in all seriousness, I think we always need these kind of acts in shows, especially like Festivali Kingis. It's a four.
From that comment, I thought you were going to give it like a 9.
No, I mean it's still what it
Same.
is,
Oh my God,
but no, it's a
same.
four. It's a four.
Isaac?
I thought it was one of the best songs there was. I gave it a 7.
See?
I'm not giving it such high praises. Sean did, but I'm also giving it a 4. Nicola?
4.
Next up, we have Troy with Horizonti e Entrave. See, I can sort of see where they were going with this, but I don't really feel that they got there. It's a decent enough song, but the thing that made it actually stand out was the lead singer's vocals. And I believe that, like, for a rock song, this band gave it a pretty weak performance. Like, I saw a lot more energy from the conductor than from any of the band members, especially the guitarist who was on the left side of the screen. The song is quite all right. It can be a lot more powerful than it actually was. The vocals were completely on point, but the stage presence was like a complete miss for me, and this is what I was lacking. But like overall, I don't know. It was okay, and yeah, I'll give it a 6. Nicola,
4.
Sean,
Four.
Isaac.
3.
Last but not least, we have Martina Sereci with Veten 2.
I was expecting that a nice and brilliant song will close the second night of FIC, but that just didn't happen because as much as she would like to be great, the song just turned into nothing. It was just a lot of noise and a lot of craziness there, but without any point of it being crazy. It was more of a fact that the song itself had a lot in it, but nothing came across to the audience. That's just how I felt listening to it. Something was lacking, but the thing which wasn't lacking was the noise and the vocals, which were crazy. And also, uh, it literally made me lost in a couple of minutes of the song, and I just couldn't go around it at all. And I just wish that I didn't listen to the song in general. Sorry.
Out of 10.
2.
Sean,
Everything that he said, two.
Isaac.
5.
See, for me, it was the vibrato that was killing my ears. For me as well, this is a 2. As you can see, the favorite of the 4 of us is Luan Durmishi, who scored 32 points, and he's followed closely by Elsa Lila in second place with 29. And we have a three-way tie for third place between Eldis Arrnjeti, Anduel Kovaci, and Olsi Ballta. Thank you all for watching. Let us know in the comment section down below whether you agree or whether you maybe disagree with any of our thoughts and opinions. And also let us know who your personal favorite in this year's Festivali Congress is. Also, head over to acbubble.com where you can vote for your favorites in our poll as well. I would like to thank Nicola, Sean, and Isaac for joining me today, and we will see you very soon with our next reaction video. In the meantime, enjoy the final of Festivali Congress and happy holidays. Bye, everyone.